For problem B, let's go ahead and shade in a little bit more. So not just 7 little pieces. Let's go ahead and I'm going to shade in 2 whole lines. So one whole line from the top to the bottom, and then a second line from the top to the bottom. And then we'll shade in 3 little boxes extra. 1 little box, 2 little box, 3 little box. So I should have 2 whole lines shaded in, and then after those 2 lines, 3 little boxes. On my place value chart before I start working on it, just like I mentioned earlier, on top of the tenths, I'm always going to write dimes and put 0.1. On top of the hundredths, I'm always going to write pennies, put 0.01. I'm going to start filling in that place value chart. For the ones place, did I shade in a whole square? One whole model. Violet, did I shade in one whole model here?
No.
No, there's still plenty of blank space here. There's a 0 in the ones place. The tenths are if I shaded in one whole row of boxes. How many whole rows of boxes did I shade in? Nakai?
Dos.
I shaded in 2 whole rows of boxes. And the hundredths are the little tiny squares. I've already counted these 2 lines. How many extra little squares did I shade in? Jada? 3. My decimal is just a copy of the place value chart. That's all it is. 0.23 or 0.23. The fraction, like I mentioned last time. For my denominator, all I have to do is look at what is my smallest decimal. Who can tell me which decimal is the smallest decimal? I've got 2 of them. Which decimal is the smallest decimal? Kylie?
The hundredths.
The hundredths. Those are the little teeny tiny squares. So, Kylie, if the hundredths are my smallest decimal, what do you think my denominator should be?
100.
100. In the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my denominator is 100. Remember the numerator, all I have to do is look at whatever number is behind my decimal. So who can tell me what is my numerator for this fraction? What is the top number on this fraction? Or I guess what should the top number be? Bella? What should my top number be, Bella?
Mister, what are we doing right now?
Doing some problems with fractions. Same thing we were doing earlier.
Oh, if you
Hasn't
could put all
changed.
of you on phones. So I'm like, what the heck?
Not 20. Who can help Bella out? What should my top number, my numerator, be? What number do I see after the decimal? Violet, what number comes after the decimal?
3.
No, not just 3. Who can tell me what number comes after the
1,
decimal? Christopher?
23.
23. So not just 20, not just 3, has to be 23. In the last problem, it was just 7 by itself. But look at the number after my decimal here. It's a 23. So 23 is my numerator. Bella, make sure we're writing this down on our paper, okay? So my numerator, I don't just want to pick one place value over the other. It has to be whatever is behind the decimal. If it's just one number, fine, just one number. And I have blank whole and blank hundredths out of blank. Okay, Messiah. We can actually use our place value chart to help out with this. The whole number is our ones place. There's a 0 in the ones place, so that means there are 0 whole models. Blank hundredths, again, look at the number after my decimal. If I count all the little teeny tiny squares, I shaded in not just 3, not just 20, but 23. 23 hundredths out of, since we're dealing with hundredths, since I can see my model and it's cut into 100 pieces, it would be out of 100. My expanded notation this time is going to get a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. I can skip the 0 in the ones place. Just a 0. The 2 I can't skip. 2 times. Now I have to show what place value it was in. Well, the 2 is in the tenths place, so it's 0.1. 2 times 0.1. There's also a 3, and I can't skip that. Plus 3. 3 is in the hundredths place. Show that, but 3 times 0.01. Good. Glad you're back, Messiah. And the word form. This one's a little bit different. For the word form, if I go to the hundredths place, then instead of putting something like 2/10, 3/100, what I actually do is I combine those two digits, the 2 and the 3, and I write 23, and then I put my place value, hundredths. What's up, Violet? You have a question?
I forgot to unmute myself.
Oh, okay. 2300 is my word form.